Guys, we are live. Imam?
Hello all and a very warm welcome to the Friday Hangout. And first of all, we do anything else. We introduce our buddies. Wish you all a very happy Ganesh Chaturthi. I know that all of you have been busy with all your pujas and stuff, and still you're watching the show. So thank you so much for that.
Ganpati Bappa!
Oh
Moria.
yeah, yeah. So, so on that note, if you see, a very special guest which we have here with today, who said that was fantastic was Ganapati Papa. So let me welcome him first. After a long time, Pankaj, welcome to the show. How have you been?
Thank you, Imam, for that lovely welcome. I'm great. I've been busy, caught up with certain new projects, but it's great to be back. I've been watching the show, Imam. You've been doing a great job. I've been watching, I've been hearing your conversations. I've been going to the Circular Cricket page and seeing what's happening. So I'm glad that today, being a festive occasion, holiday, I could find some time out and be here. I've been missing this, to tell you the truth. So much action has been around, so much to be spoken about, so many things, and I've been missing in action. So it's great to be here. Thanks.
Absolutely. And आज पूरा कोटा पूरा करेंगे पंकज. We'll
पूरा
start and we'll
पूरा
talk
पूरा
about
पूरा
a
पूरा कच्चा
lot of
चिट्टा
stuff.
बराबर कर देंगे.
And also, let me quickly also welcome another buddy who have joined us after a long time. Rahul, how have you been, buddy?
Hey, buddy, I'm good. I'm good. Long time. I was
Absolutely.
missing this as well. Unfortunately, due to some professional obligations, could not join in. But good to be back.
Fantastic. And we love that people love their profession and love cricket and continue to join us here at Friday Hangout. So, and we also have Mridul with us, our regular buddy. How you been, Mridul?
Yeah, good Imam bhai. Happy to see India win at last.
And the audience who are watching it, I think Mridul is really happy with the first ODI win. And if you see him, he's all ready for today's hangout. He's looking like a very nice, clean-shaven,
So,
normal
Imam,
schoolboy.
can I just say something?
Sure, sure, please.
You introduced Mridul by saying he's one of our regular buddies. Looking at him, it doesn't look like the Mridul of old. He looks like some, I don't know,
Absolutely.
schoolboy who's just 16 years old, just come back from school. It doesn't look like the same Mridul.
Absolutely, and we'll find out what the reason for the happiness is. I'm not too sure that only one will give him so much of happiness. So we'll get to that. Why is he so happy and why is he has come in this particular manner? Let's also welcome Amartya all the way from Kolkata. Amartya, सुन रहा है
हाय
मेरे?
मैम, हाउ आर यू?
Good, good.
बिल्कुल
कैसा है
बिल्कुल,
buddy?
आपकी बात कैसे नहीं सुन सकता. बस चल रहा है. हाउ आर यू?
I am good. I am good, and I am feeling a lot better when it comes to Friday Hangout. I wait for this Friday because so much of cricket which we can speak about. So let's jump right into it. Let me go to Pankaj because Pankaj has been missing on the shows on which we were discussing the pathetic performance of the Indian team in the Test matches. I will not mince words today, guys, because all of us love the Indian team. But let's be practical. I know that we won the first ODI, which we will talk about. We'll get to it a bit later. But I will love to know from you, Pankaj. I'm sure that you've been following the Test series when it happened. We took this lead 1-0 at Lords. Everything was hunky dory, and we felt that okay, this is a new breed of Indian cricket that which will not be scared of short pitch bowling. We had Ishant Sharma pick 7 wickets. Suddenly, Southampton story was different and England managed to win the series 3-1. They said, okay, 1-0 जीत गए हो ना, रुक जाओ 1 पे, हम जाते हैं 3 पे. So what do you think? What was your observation and where do you think that Indian team went wrong? Because everything was looking so good.
In a nutshell, if I have to literally say something, I would say the Indians sucked. You know, to say the least. But okay, that's not how we usually talk about these things, Imam. So, well, first thing that I felt when I looked at this 5-match series and the way India performed after the second test was, I don't think the Indian mindset, the team's mindset is prepared for a 5-test series. I don't think, because I think all their lives they've been playing at max 2-match series, or at, if there is a longer series, it's always been a 3-match series, if there's been. So I don't think mentally the team has ever been prepared, the players have ever been prepared for a 5-test match series. That's way too long. Having said that, I mean, they're professional cricketers. You expect them to do better, especially after taking the lead and everything, with Ishant's cracking performance in the second test. Uh, the biggest worry, and I think the reason for failure, is the lack of application from the batsmen. Yeah, and I was not exactly thrilled by MS's captaincy or team selections and stuff. But the biggest problem has been the lack of application of our batsmen. Biggest downfall, Imam. I've been saying this for like such a long time that overseas, whether we'll win, draw a series, level a series, or lose, has always been dependent on the batsmen because our bowlers do fine. They've always done they did enough. It's not like our bowlers did so badly that the other team was scoring 600 runs. They weren't. They were fine. I mean, normal. You expect teams to score 300 runs here. We've never had the kind of bowlers who will run through the opposition and get them all out in 100 or 120, right? So when a team opposition scores 250, 300, 350, that's a decent enough performance from bowlers because you expect that. But the kind of talent pool we've had in our batting, you expect so much more from the likes of Virat and Pujaras. And remember, even before the Test series started, most of us picked these two batsmen. It was Pujara and Virat saying, these are the talented batsmen in form, are cut out for the Test format. They will be our backbone. And literally, there was no spine, when it came to India's batting. So I think that hurt us the most. The two batsmen who looked most comfortable was surprisingly Murli Vijay. He was a revelation, if you ask me. He looked comfortable against the moving ball. He was the one who opened the inning. And then Ajinkya Rahane. So that was the saving grace. From anybody else, obviously there were a couple of cameos from Mahi, in his own typical fashion. I liked one of the performances where he stuck around, he fought out, he took a lot of blows on his body, made sure India went past the 100 mark. But apart from that, there was no one batsman, who looked like he's going to stick around for a day, score for like 100, 150 or 200 runs and get the team to 400, 450. So once that is not happening, there's always a chance of losing, and then batsmen didn't do enough. Bowlers were fine, Imam. I mean, from my end, I believe bowlers did their part. They might not have been spectacular, but I never expected that to be. That is probably what we expect from the batsmen, and they let us down.
Absolutely, I think you covered it up fantastically well, Pankaj. And the fact that you brought up Virat Kohli, there's one very nice picture which one of my friends sent on social networking site where Anushka calls up Dhoni and says, "Hey," Dhoni asks, "Who's this?" She says, "Anushka. Can I speak to Virat?" And Dhoni says, "No, Virat just went out to bat." Anushka says, "Okay, I'll hold." So the fact that that sums up the entire tour for Virat Kohli, there was a lot of disappointment. Let me also go to ask Rahul, who has joined us after a long time. Rahul, I'm sure that you've been watching the Test series, and as Pankaj said, there was a huge disappointment when it came to batting. And for me, as I agree with Pankaj, bowling was outstandingly well, because I never expected them to take 20 wickets, and they did so well, including the Lord's Test match. So where do you think, Rahul, what went wrong? And if you see any clear technique issue with the Indian batting?
One thing, batting was poor, so was the fielding. When we won the second test, we performed well. In the third, fourth, and fifth test, you saw the catches being dropped by fielders like Rahane, Jadeja. I think even Kohli dropped one. So there were a lot of drops. Batting, uh, Kohli in the first two tests, they chalked him out. They were bowling him outside the off stump, luring him into his favorite shot, cover drive, getting him out. So the teams had their plans chalked out. Another important thing, like Pankaj reiterated, Murli Vijay and Rahane were the only two batsmen who were ready to slug it out. Now, uh, I would like to say that Murli Vijay did perform well in the first two tests, but after that, even he started falling down for 20s or 30s. He didn't score big after that. He was in a very good form, scoring 300 odd in the first two tests. And I don't know, like Pujara looked like he would get a big score, but he would get a good ball. Or in the first two or three tests, he got out to good balls. Then in the last two tests, probably, that plays on your mind. It started playing on the minds. Maybe may it be Pujara or Kohli. For that reason, even Gautam Gambhir, they brought in Gautam Gambhir. He did not score well. So it was more to do with the mindset in the last two tests after getting out. Third test they got beaten. Last two tests there was a thumping.
Gautam Gambhir was absolute rubbish, as Apna boycott would like to say. I don't even want to talk about Gambhir's innings. Ridiculous, man. Sorry, ma'am. You'll go on now.
No, true.
No, no problem. But Pankaj, I think he looked like a person who has started his journey and doesn't know where exactly his his manzil is. उसको पता ही नहीं उसको जाना कहाँ है, जा रहा है, nick कर रहा है, वापस जा रहा है, and I think it was huge disappointment. Mridul, but what exactly is happening with Gautam Gambhir? Let's not talk about Gautam Gambhir. Let's let him prepare for his KKR Champions League performance. Let us come back to the people who are in this Indian team and playing in the ODI series. The likes of Virat Kohli. Apart from Anushka, what exactly is the issue with him?
I don't think Anushka is the issue for Virat Kohli. Is the issue for the rest of the country, I think.
Quite true that. Yeah, Mridul, go ahead.
Kohli is suffering from bit of bad luck because I don't think that Kohli is that bad player. His shot in the last match was a good shot, but I think that he was bit unlucky for this. And I think in next couple of matches he will definitely score some runs. And I think it's his first bad series after his international career. So I don't think that we should blame him for all this.
No, Mridul, let's keep the ODI's dismissal, the first ODI dismissal out of this
Away,
conversation
yes.
because that shot was a very ODI shot. You saying he might have gotten unlucky may or may not be true. Let's not, go there because maybe it was a poor decision. He was not in form, and as I think it was Harsha who said that was a shot of a batsman who's already scored a couple of hundreds in a series, and he's coming into the game with so much confidence that he can go down the track at naught and expect to clear the mid-off field and get started, get going. But that obviously didn't happen. Maybe he got it too low on his bat, or there was less bounce. Could have been so many factors, but that is not because that is not a lack of skill at that time. There was a lack of application. Maybe a wrong poor choice. But let's talk about his innings, innings in the test matches, because there was nothing to show for there. So I would love to hear from you, Mridul, about that.
I think Kohli in test matches, somewhere his technical ability and some balls were really good bowling by that Liam Plunkett ball, which bowled him, and couple of bowls from James Anderson was uncleable. And apart from this, there was like a thing that he was going for the offside ball and edging it to the slip. I remember Sachin Tendulkar in Australia, like he was suffering from this and he didn't play a cover drive in that entire innings and scored a double hundred. So I thought that maybe Kohli should have tried that thing, like not touching the offside ball and could have concentrated on leg side. But yeah, it's okay. I think it's a good thing for him to know his inability to perform that well and that kind of bowling. So yeah, that's okay. I think we should
You're a Kohli fan, man.
Yeah,
You're
you've
a
been
Kohli
so
fan.
sweet, Mridul. You've
So
been
nicely,
so
being
sweet,
so
nice
kind
to
and generous to Kohli.
I think it's Kohli, so we couldn't say anything to him. He's the best performer for our Ian in like last.
You're talking like my sister, who's like a massive fan of Kohli. Like she worships him, and no matter what he does, is all good.
Mridul, but the fact is, yeah, I see. The fact is that all of us love Kohli for whatever he has done, brought in a lot of glory for the country, and we're not trying to target him in terms of, we don't want to crucify him, but we just want to understand where exactly he can improve, because at the end of the day, it's a sport which a billion people follow, and they follow it without any selfish reasons. It's just that they want their country to do well, as all of us, on this forum right now. So my question to you, Amartya, is that the fact that Mridul mentioned that it's okay, Mridul, Kohli didn't do that well, 150 odd runs in the 5-match series. The likes of Bhuvaneshwar Kumar got more runs than him. Would you start to worry, Amartya? My question to you is: would you start to worry right away? Do you think that 5 matches are enough to say, okay, this person is not in a great sense of form? And the second part, there are two things a batsman who is not scoring runs does when he gets an opportunity to bat. Either he grinds, spends a lot of time, or either he hits himself out of, he hits shots to get himself into form. And Kohli took the latter part and did not do well in the ODI match, which we'll talk about a bit later. But my question to you is, would you start to worry right now with Virat Kohli?
I don't think so, Imam. I think that Virat Kohli has created a name for himself. As in the past year, he was the highest scorer for us in all the formats that he played in. He has been a tremendous player and a tremendous asset for the Indian team. And just one bad series, and the entire Indian media or the entire Indian cricket fans are going mad at him. I think that yes, he has not performed up to the expectations of the people, because the expectations have doubled up on him because of the kind of performance that he has given in the past year. But having said that, I think that this was the first time that Kohli went into England to play a Test cricket, and I think that Test cricket is totally a different kind of game, and he needs some time. But having said that, Test series was a very long period to get some time in and get the form going. He was out of form throughout the series. The capability of Virat Kohli is a lot more, and he was the spine and the backbone of the Indian team. And as he failed to create any impact, and if the top order fails to make any impact, then the lower order somehow suffers. And that is the reason maybe when Pujara and Virat didn't contribute to the team, our team was not, did not give a satisfactory show as far as the batting is concerned, as Pankaj rightly said earlier. So I think that I won't start worrying about Virat Kohli's form at the moment. Yes, we are dependent on him quite a lot. So let's give him another some time. Hopefully, he'll bounce back to form someday.
Okay, Amartya, let me interrupt you and ask you. Let me turn around my question a bit. How many matches more and you start to get worried? We go to Australia next to play a series in. I'm talking about overseas Test matches. Unfortunately, we have a series in India with the West Indies, which I'm really feeling sad about. I don't know why. Whenever we don't do well, we call West Indies. Here we beat them black and blues, and then everything goes back to normal. Let me remind you one thing, I also want to ask this to Pankaj. Pankaj, in 2007, Rahul Dravid's team won a Test series in England after a gap of almost 20 years. They won the series 1-0, and that series was followed by 5-match ODI series. I'm sorry, 7-match ODI series, which England won 3-2. And Dravid immediately resigned, and the reason he said was nobody will remember the Test win. They will remember the fact that we lost the ODI
Lost
series,
ODIs.
and he did not go to South Africa for the T20 World Cup. He stepped down as the captain, and then we had to fill in Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and that's how the whole thing started. My question to you, Pankaj, does the same rule apply for MS Dhoni? Is it time for MS to say, you know what, I am a fantastic ODI captain, a fantastic ODI batsman, very good thinker of the game when it comes to the shorter format, not that creative, not that innovative in Test match cricket? And is it time for MS to say, okay, I'll take a back seat, I will quit Test cricket and give players like Vridman Saha and Naman Hoja, who can give you hundreds in Test matches, who have proved themselves, year in and year out in Ranji Trophy and also in Australia. So do you think it's the time for MS Dhoni to just take a back seat when it comes to Test cricket?
Yeah, if he does that, then how will he make 300 crores in a year? Yeah. Well, that was an angry shout from my end. But to tell you the truth, this is not the time when he should have done that. Had it been about quality, about giving people chances, about the fact that maybe I'm not the best guy to lead the side in Test. This should have happened, Imam, a few years back. I mean, it's not the first time India has lost a series under Dhoni. This has happened previously. This is like almost a regular affair when we go out. So if this sort of thought process had to be that this could have been done a few years back, and probably by now, and people like Naman and Ridhiman Saha would have gained invaluable sort of experience in playing in such conditions. They would have been probably ready, and so that by the time we would have gone to England and these guys would have been ready, we could have had a very different sort of performance, right? So when it comes to whether Dhoni should step back, he should have done that long time back in Test. He is he is unbelievable. He is too good in ODI and T20 short format. There is no replacing him. No, not a shadow of a doubt there. But when it comes to Test, I mean, it's a very old argument, Imam. But let me just go back. I mean, this was my thought on the whole Mahi sort of question you asked me. But I would like to go back onto the previous question that you were talking to Amartya about, which is Virat. Should we be worried?
Right.
I'm not worried. There is no question. I mean, I completely agree with Amartya, and I'm sure Rahul and Mridul also agree on this, that there is no doubt that the guy is quality. He has class. He has proven it. But you can't rest on your laurels forever. Five matches mean 10 innings. Now, 10 innings is a long time, Imam. Okay. And 10 innings with a gap of 3 days, 5 days between test matches are each after two innings. There is enough time for a guy to work on what's going wrong, to apply himself and to get, and they have the best of people around them, whether it's their coaches or support staff, whatever. And then you have Rahul Dravid around. There are Gangulys around. There are commentators who's saying on television who are around you, and they talk to the team every evening. They sit with the boys as well. They are telling on television. It's a very evident that what you people like you and I, who know a bit of cricket, think that this is what is going wrong, and that is validated by the commentators. Okay, now these commentators are also cricket experts, legends of the game, along with the coaches that are available to people like Virat Kohli. They are talking. Why isn't the guy making that change, that transition, that application, a little bit of adjustment with the wrist? Why is he opening the face every time? Why is he fishing? Why can't he do that? A very good point I think was made by Mridul about the whole Sachin not playing a single cover drive, and I think this is where Ganguly became a fan of Sachin Tendulkar when he realized that he applied himself so much that because every time he was going for a cover drive, he was getting out. And it's a huge temptation, Imam, as a cricketer or in any sport to go with what comes naturally to you. For somebody like Sachin, and that's why Sachin was great, right? Virat Kohli is good right now. I always felt that people was going a little too overboard when it came to Virat because he hasn't stood the test of time. I mean, he's done great for 1 year. He's good. He's brilliant. And no doubt about his quality. But then you can't start comparing him to legends because suddenly what happens, now we're saying one series bad, it's okay. What happens if suddenly it becomes two series? You'll still say, "Arey nahi yaar, 2 saal tak to wo bahut badhiya khela tha." We don't want Virat Kohli to become another Rohit Sharma. Everybody knows he is talent. Maybe Rohit Sharma doesn't himself know. He has no faith in his own abilities, but he does have a talent. So we don't want another Rohit Sharma in Virat Kohli. He needs to apply. And, that was the scary part for me, Imam. As a cricket fan, knowing Virat, a guy who comes into practice every day, a guy who applies himself every day, who's hardcore when it comes to practice and making himself better every day. That's why he was so successful for the past year. What is happening now? Why isn't he making those changes? Why isn't the little transition not happening? So that was a worry for me. Not the whether the guy has quality or not. He definitely does. But the lack of application and willing to make these adjustments is a cause of worry for me. And I hope he gains some form and makes some runs in the ODI series. But then for me, ODI, no matter how many runs he gets in these ODIs, I will put that aside. And his performance in the test, his lack of application will still stand for me till the next test series.
I would just like to add, Pankaj,
Yeah.
that
Go on.
this is also very scary. As he said, it's very scary because we have seen players like, players in India who have been out of the team. Their careers have been pretty much finished after one or two bad series. Take for example, Irfan Pathan. He had a hat trick. He performed really well, and now he is not in the reckoning in the top five bowlers for India. So probably others have performed better. He has another big reason probably is the expectations. We set very high expectations and get the player under extreme pressure. As Pankaj had started off the hangout saying that, when India had gone to England and they had said that we had expectations from Pujara and Kohli. Both of them did not perform up to the expectations. I don't think either of them had a 50. So probably from our side also we should, expectations जितना high करोगे उतना problem शायद players.
Rahul, there's also one point to remember. See, with Pujara, yes, he did not play well. He did not score enough runs. That was expected. But it never looked like that the English found a way to get him out. Not one particular way. He was always getting out some way or the other. Whether it's bad luck or maybe, misjudgment on certain angles and parts. But there was never a clear way that they had devised a plan. The English never devised a plan for Pujara, because he did not display that sort of weakness. So he can probably apply himself better later. But that was the scary part with Virat. That was skill missing so much in Virat Kohli's arsenal that Jimmy Anderson and the guys just found out, and Virat Kohli was found lacking in that aspect. That every time he's getting out in the same manner, Imam, correct me if you think I'm wrong, because that was my observation. Because I could not see the entire match, but whenever I saw the highlights, I was very keenly watching this how our Indian batsmen were getting out, and with Kohli every single time it seemed like I could have been seeing the replay of the first test for all the 10 innings. So that was a little bit of worry for me, and that was scary. Pujara, I still think he'll be fine, but that was the scary part with Kohli, a lack of he did not make the change. I mean, please find a new way to get out, yeah, Virat Kohli. Why do you have to get out in the same manner, man, for 10 innings?
So
Absolutely,
probably it was
absolutely.
overconfidence. Probably it was overconfidence. You are getting out to your favorite shot, your strong position. Probably it was overconfidence.
Okay, Rahul, on that note, let me, I see few new buddies who joined us quite late. We'll ask them the reason why a bit later on the show. But first of all, let's welcome them. Subramanian has joined us. Subbu sir, can you hear us? Okay. Subbu sir seems to have this internet issue all the time. No problem. Keshav, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, Imam. Really happy to be back with a little bit of a crowd here. Last 2 3 times it was little kind of vacant. But another happiness is India finally won a game there by a big margin. So I mean, pretty happy to be on this angle.
So you're so happy that you forgot to shave half of your goatee, is it?
It's it's just grown up. I was so happy that it grew up so quickly.
And only on
Well,
one side of the face. Okay, cool, no problem.
and Keshav, just to give you a bit of an update, we are not exactly talking about the ODI series yet. Yes, we know that you're quite happy, and we are all happy that the first ODI went our way. But we just touch basing upon few things on Test series which happened, which we did not do so well. And just to give you a bit of an update, Pankaj, me, Keshav, and Mridul were on that forum every Friday discussing what is going wrong. So now that we've touched base on this topic and Keshav has joined us, Keshav, quickly, your thoughts, and if you can sum up the Test series for you, and what do you think is going really wrong with Virat Kohli?
Okay, first of all, if a little bit of noise comes from my side, actually, I have a couple of birds in my room, so like the
Is
pet
that a
budgies. So,
metaphor or literal sort of thing?
no, it's literally I have to, those budgies in my room, so
No,
they are
not saying
making.
so much. As long as
I
it's not
mean,
a metaphor, we're all good with this.
I think they also want to join the hangout. So anyway, uh, but talking about the test series, I think somewhere I was myself, even a lot of fans, not just me, but we were prepared for this kind of a debacle somewhere down the line because everyone knows that England can be lethal in their conditions. Even if the players are new, they are. I think they are proved talented in county cricket where they have grew up whole their childhood and they've played a lot of matches there, so they obviously know the conditions better than us. Uh, I think the only solution to this is for BCCI to get away with their ego and let people play county matches or let them go to the other leagues like maybe BBL or something to to get used to these conditions because I mean, now they have done this with Pujara. Thankfully, he's getting 3 4 games of county. He's got special permission. Even people like who are not in the one day team, maybe Pankaj Singh or someone else, they could have easily.
But Keshav, I'm sorry to just come in between your comment, but are you saying that the only way to do well in English conditions is to play in county? Or is it the only way to succeed in India is to start playing Ranji? I mean, I don't know. I'm just a little curious because you expect from a good cricketer to do that. They have enough time for acclimatize themselves. Once they go there, they have warm-up matches. Isn't a normal professional cricketer expected to perform with those sort of things? I mean, Sri Lanka's beating England there. Out of their 16 squad, how many of them were playing regular county there? I don't know. But I'm just saying. I'm just a little curious here.
First of all, Sri Lanka just played 2 games, so I don't think 2 games are enough because first game they almost lost, and the second game they just won on the verge of a draw. And talking about even if you take the first 2 games of India, if it were a 2 match series, India would have also won 1-0. And talking about Sri Lankans who have played, I mean, before coming there, Sangakkara had a deal with Durham. He played some games. I think he played a couple of games. I mean, these kind of preparations, you have to do these days, and you have to, manage your priorities. Whether you go for IPL, or whether you go for county cricket. I mean, it's a big question. I mean, everyone would go for money, everyone would go for IPL, but I mean, if it's not the only option to succeed in these conditions, I think it's one of the biggest factors, that would really affect anyone's performance. I mean, if someone has the experience of playing there in those conditions, he will obviously apply whenever he plays international cricket over there. If you look at other teams, Australia, South Africa, people like Chris Rogers is playing. He's playing for Middlesex. Hashim Amla plays there. Peter Siddle, Vernon Philander. A lot of people play, and that's why they are successful in international arena, and they are successful in English conditions. So I mean, if I'm not wrong, I mean, for Indian players who are so new and their careers have just started, I mean, 15-20 tests is not big enough to be successful in every other condition. They are still not Tendulkars or Lakshman or Dravid. So I mean, this is an important part to be taken care of.
Okay, I think fair point. But no, the fact is, one thing is all of the buddies which we have here. England has the most sophisticated and fantastic structure when it comes to playing the domestic cricket. They have their proper 50-over matches. They have their proper test matches. But the fact is that they're neither doing well in ODI cricket at the moment, and they are not doing that great in test match cricket. So I somehow a bit disagree there, Keshav, that county cricket will make you that cricketer. Yes, it will add a lot of stuff to your technique and stuff. But let's be honest. In today's date, how many players will get a chance to play county cricket, especially when you're an Indian cricketer? It will be
Imam, yeah, you said like England is not doing great in both the formats. I think they're going through a transition period, and every team which goes through that, they have to suffer a bit of losses, because when India were going through that, I think India is still going through that. So they are, facing some of the worst period again. And when Australia, people like McGrath, Vaughan, Hayden, Gilchrist retired, they also, and I mean now they are emerging when they have finally found a good combination. So I think it's just time that will tell us whether England is capable of winning in other parts of the country, because next year they play teams like Pakistan and Australia and South Africa away. So I mean that would really tell us whether they're ready or not.
Mridul is sitting like the villain in the movie Shan. Shakal की तरह ऐसा बैठ के नज़ारे ले रहा है, मजे ले रहा है. Mridul beta, I'll come to you. Let me ask you, what exactly do you think? Do you think is county cricket that important, or do you think we have to make some changes in order to win matches in conditions outside some continent, or do you think the players have to, today's cricketer has to be focused, and whatever time he gets, he has to acclimatize quickly and do well for his country? So, what are your thoughts, Mridul, about the same?
First of all, I think that we are too hopeful of Team India in outside subcontinent in test matches, because if we see our history, we have always been pathetic outside subcontinent in test matches. We have only win few series or win couple of matches outside subcontinent, whether it's under the captaincy of Ganguly or Dhoni. And if we talk about county cricket, yeah, I think county cricket can help our players in knowing the conditions and playing according to it. We have seen an example like Zahir Khan, who got really matured after playing county. He became a more better player after playing with the county. So I think yeah, county strength can be helpful for our players. Yeah, and I agree with Keshav that players like who are not playing in the ODI series or are currently not part of Champions League.
Yeah, Mridul, I think, sorry to interrupt you, but on that county point, I guess Pankaj has a point to make. Yeah, go ahead, Pankaj.
Yeah, Imam and Mridul, the question is, should we start sending our cricketers to each foreign country for their domestic whatever cricket that they're having, so that they get better in those conditions? Should we send our cricketers to county season to play there so that they are ready for English conditions? Should we start sending them to Australia for whatever domestic cricket they are playing so that they are ready for Australia? Maybe we should start sending them to South African whatever domestic they are playing so that they are ready for South Africa. And on that note, why not maybe to Sri Lanka and Pakistan also? For every foreign series, we should send them there. Because your argument right now says that for Indian players or any player to succeed in English conditions, they should be playing county. I mean, I get the fact that you're saying that okay, acclimatization acha hoga, they'll be better suited and all, but that's a ridiculous argument. Yeah? If that holds true, then on that note, if we think that the only way to succeed is that they should go and play their system, we should start sending them everywhere. Yeah? We should start sending them to Australia and let them play there for whatever 2 months of cricket they have, and so that maybe then we'll think, oh, maybe then we'll be ready for Australia. Same way, South Africa se pehle wahan pe bhi bhejo yaar. So I'm complete disagreement with this.
Actually, I think county is the most developed cricket circuit of like overall. If we see Australian cricket or South African cricket, county has developed the most. It has like 18 teams. The team level are like equal, and players from all over the country, all over the part of the world. Like Keshav mentioned, Sangakkara played, Philander played, Hashim Amla played. So yeah, there are a couple of players. I am not saying that we should send the whole team, but couple of our test players who are like indigenously test players should have been sent or should have played county stint. Like after Zahir Khan, I can't remember any player who has a county stint.
Okay, Keshav, yes, go ahead, Keshav.
Yeah, talking about what Pankaj said, and I think I would disagree with him and also disagree with the answer which Mridul gave it to him. It's not about which cricket is more developed so that we should go there only. I think it's about see the first of all the conditions in England are I think the swing you get in England I don't think you get that in Australia and South Africa. I think those wickets are much more bouncier than English wickets. So it's all about whenever we have come here. Last time when we came here we lost 4-0, now 3-1. I think it's that swing which Indian is not able to play. And talking about the other countries, I think India did fine in
Keshav,
South
just
Africa.
because
Yeah.
we did fine. So if we start, let's say, our test team, as brilliant as it is right now under our captain MSD, goes to Australia and South Africa, starts losing their 4-0, 5-0, 3-1. If we do, I mean, God forbid that happens, but if it does, I mean, would you start saying then, oh, maybe we weren't ready for that, and maybe we should start sending that player? See, my problem is not with the fact that we are fine here, we are not fine there. You're saying that okay, in one condition, the best way, just because the English seem to have a cricket system which is great, and they have enough, space for foreign players to come in and into the system and learn from them, which is great. But I don't think that's what is expected out of professional athletes in any sport. You can't do that. Everybody in any sport gets, whether it's a golfer, whether it's any other sport, if they're going to play at a new golf course, they go and play one round or two practice rounds. Same way they're expected to perform great there. In similar here, you're okay, fine, I get that. So swing is different, everything is different, but you are going there. You are playing your warm-up games. You are there 3 weeks early, sometimes 1 month early, just to get accustomed and acclimatized to the whole thing. And you're playing enough matches there. Why isn't that enough? I mean, everybody does that, yeah.
No, but if everyone does that, then why people like I mean, teams like South Africa, Australia are sending their players regularly. And if you talk about that Indian player do not get that window to go there, I think there's this certain window after IPL. The only summer where Indians do not go to England. Only that summer is occupied, but after IPL, I think they are free for around 1.5 to 2 months. They take their rest, and then the Indian season starts. So I think if that window is there, there's nothing wrong in going there and play some county
There's
cricket.
nothing wrong. I have see. Please, let me just clarify myself to everyone and the viewers that see, I have nothing against the county system. I think it's a fabulous system. If any of our cricketers who go there, I think are privileged to go there, plus the condition, the kind of the level of games that are happening there, it's much better than our Ranji. With all due respect to all the work that has been put in the Ranji, it's still a lot better. So I'm not against that, but I'm against the principle behind it, guys. That you see, any professional athlete in any sport does not have this excuse that okay, I do not get to go there and spend 2 months there for whatever sporting domestic circuit that they have, and that should be my way of succeeding in those conditions. No, in any sport you always get a little bit of window prior to the actual games, and a good top athlete is expected to perform based on that. So this excuse that okay, maybe we aren't good because we are not playing county and that's why we're not, is I think ridiculous. Maybe we should just accept that we suck right now in those conditions and we have to become better at applying ourselves.
Exactly. I mean,
And just applying
if
ourselves doesn't mean that you go to county, spend 2 months there for our cricketers, and that should be the end of it. I mean, I don't agree with that. I believe you
Correct.
get 3 weeks
but
before your games and series. That should be enough for you to figure out a way.
but Pankaj, I think it's unfair to compare cricket with other things because in those conditions, even if you're talking about
Okay,
golf,
Keshav,
the
can I,
ball
can
is
I,
off
can I?
spin and
Yeah.
It
everything is
was
same.
not just golf; is
No,
any
no.
sport.
I'll tell you something. The fact that England came to India, beat India in India, their players don't come and play Ranji cricket at all, and I don't even they will ever think about playing Ranji here. The fact that England beat us in India in our own conditions, spin-friendly conditions, is enough to say that cricket is a professional game. You're expected to play well. You're
And
expected
it
to
was
play
the
spin
spinners
well.
who ran through us. Monty
And
Panesar did all
Monty
the damage.
Panesar, yes,
But
more
Imam,
than
you have to accept a little fact here. Like if England did beat them, I think it's possible to make turning wickets in England and play on them. They have their spinners also, in county
No, no,
cricket.
no,
But
no.
you
But
but
know,
how
the
can
it's
that
point
still
is not
justify
that.
that the Indians who are born on spin, who have spinning tracks all across the country, even in Ranji, they were not able to play spin? Maybe you're
they
saying
got
that.
overconfident. That's why.
Yeah, whatever. So that could be a basic problem also, na? That there's the overconfidence. They take that overconfidence with them to England and they don't apply themselves, and that's why they suck. Not because they're not playing county. Why can't you look at that?
Right, right, and I think as a host, I'll on today's show I will take the liberty of saying the fact that today's cricketer is expected to do well in any conditions. Yes, I agree with Keshav when he says that domestic cricket or county cricket is helpful. We are not doubting it. We want our players to do it. It's up to the respective player. You cannot go and force anybody to do anything. If I want to play county cricket, as BCCI, I would request if the people who are watching, every week, just to give you a bit of a heads up, viewers, BCCI does watch this hangout very closely. So I think what all of us would request them is if a player is approaching them to go ahead and let us play our county cricket, please let them have it. Don't stop it. Okay, on that fantastic note, let's move ahead on today's show. I know that some of you might be thinking we are still in the hangover of the test series, whereas it was not a hangover, it was a real wake-up call. But let's get into the a bit of a merrier side, a happier side, which we started winning. All of us mentioned that we won the first ODI. So let's talk about some happy things before we move ahead and wrap up today's show. But before that, can I try and reach out to Subramanian? Is he able to reach us or hear us now? Subbu sir, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can
You have to unmute yourself.
hear you very clearly.
Oh, fantastic. And we can hear you clearly as well. So, Subbu sir, I think you joined a bit late because of the stuff the technology does this to us. That was Pankaj says, and I always follows that. So the question for me, question to you is, we are starting to talk about the ODI series or the second ODI. First ODI was washed out. Your thoughts of what went well and what things you expected Team India to do even better in the second ODI, but they were not able to do. So your thoughts, please.
Actually,
Yeah. Go on.
Indian team per se is a better team as far as ODI.
I think his network is
Oh,
intermittent.
yeah. Subbu sir, I guess you should just
ODI
leave the
players
hangout and come. Yeah, leave the hangout and come back because I think there's a lot of connectivity issues there. So I'll reach you as soon as you come back. Rahul, your thoughts? What went well, and do you expected to see more players?
Okay, fine.
Go on, Rahul.
Yep. What went well? I think Raina, he was the change. I recently read. I read it today itself. He had taken help from Amre. He started practicing with the short balls. He was guided by the great Sachin in the indoor nets at MCA. So he had his preparation. He was starting before going to England. He was ready. He knew everybody will target him with the short balls, and he was up to it. He knew which balls to leave, which to hit, and probably that's what was the change. In the first ODI as well, we lost 2 wickets very early. Again, Kohli, probably he wanted to clear off his mindset, go for the runs straight away. This is his domain, his territory, one day cricket. But unfortunately, he got out. Shikhar Dhawan not in the best of forms. He got out. We got to see a good performance from Rohit Sharma. Rahane applied himself, but then got out. But then came Raina, who was the change. And the bowling, everybody did well. Spinners did well. So probably we played as a unit after we got a good score. After Raina, the confidence gets boosted up. So I think that was the change. Once they were confident, they scored more than 300. They knew they were, 90-10 up.
90-10 up. Oh, nice ratio also. Don't you think, guys, we should start playing Test cricket in with the white ball and color clothing? I'm sure that India would do well in that and win a couple of series. What do you think, Amartya?
Imam's not there.
Absolutely, Imam. I totally agree because.
Go on, Amartya.
Go on, Amartya.
Yeah, I think that Indian team is sort of totally different when it comes to the audio format or when it comes to the shorter formats of the game because as you just saw in the in the test series that we concluded recently, the show of the Indian team was pathetic. But as soon as we converted it into the audio format, the team sort of changed the entire balance that it had, and Suresh Raina made an impeccable comeback to the Indian team and sort of balanced it well. I think this was the maiden century of him outside the subcontinent. He batted brilliantly, and as Rahul pointed out correctly, that he was coached by Praveen Amre and all, and that is the grit that he has. I mean, whenever he has faced some problems with the short ball in the past, he has gone back to all the basics that he has had. He has hired the personal coach and all, and he has got the momentum back, and now he's back with a bang.
Yeah. And guys, before Rahul, I'm so sorry. Were you trying to say something before we reached out to Amartya? Please go ahead, buddy. Finish it off.
True. I also feel that Raina is one of the most underrated cricketers in India.
Mm-hmm.
We have the likes of Dhoni, no doubt. He's one of the best finishers of the game. Kohli, even Sharma is very talented. But then we have to see that Raina has led us to so many victories, so many chases in the recent years, last 2 years. He has really upped his performance.
I have a feeling, Rahul and guys, that I think Raina is only underrated in the fans' minds. I don't think any team underrates him at all. He's in equal threat as much as probably MS is at the end of the innings. So I think it's just the fans. Maybe because we have too many stars apart from Suresh Raina. Maybe he doesn't get the limelight often enough. That's why we feel he's underrated. But the tell is the truth. I don't think the teams underrate him at all.
Absolutely. And Pankaj, the thing which really
probably the teams feel Pankaj, that if they have a good fast bowler, they'll get him out with the short pitch. So they probably, like for Kohli, they had a separate plan chalked out. Bowl him outside off stump. For Dhoni also, if you have seen the last few series.
Rahul, let's not confuse that Raina applied himself in ODI format. That would be equivalent to Raina applying himself in the Test format. It's a very different ball game altogether. So
no, but my point is that.
Okay, go on.
My point is that the other teams have a plan chalked out for the major threats. For example, Kohli, they had a plan chalked out that they will be bowling him outside the off stump, getting him out on the drive. So probably they will be trying the same. If he keeps getting out, they will be trying that.
Yeah, if Kohli starts getting out in the same fashion as he did in the ODI, also in the Test, in the ODIs as well, then that would be a big worry. But then I would not like to. I really, just for our conversation's sake, Rahul, I don't think I would like to compare people's application in the ODI format to their application in the Test format, because these two are completely different ball games, and literally and metaphorically as well. So let's not try to mix and confuse between the two.
Yeah, and also, guys, the white ball does not swing as much as the red ball does. So I guess Virat Kohli will be hopefully good. He didn't start off well, but hopefully good. Super sir, if you can hear us real quickly, your thoughts about the second ODI.
I can hear you and see very clearly, Imam. You guys can hear me?
Yes, we
Guys, can you
can.
hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Uh, Thank you. So, and I was hearing the conversation. Somebody mentioned about Virat Kohli not becoming like Rohit Sharma. Well, there is a difference. Virat Kohli has been performing all along. It has been in the team because of his performance. He has failed in the test series and one of his ODI, but that does not make him a bad player. Whereas Rohit Sharma was in the team without performing. So his team got
Okay, Subusar,
they,
I think the issue with the internet continues. We cannot hear you properly. There is a lot of disturbances. So I think we need to get your net. I will talk to your internet provider personally in the next few minutes. So in that meantime, you can just mute yourself and hear this conversation. Keshav, we started out well with the first ODI. I know all of you guys for the viewers. Keshav was very happy and he was beaming all along because all the choices which MSD made in the team, which I was really not happy with, came true, and Team India went on to win the second ODI. Your thoughts, Keshav, before I give you my inputs?
Uh, Again, I would say, Imam, it doesn't matter to me. Even if MSG doesn't play, if India wins, that's what I want. And India did win it by a big, big margin. So I'm really happy with that. And the people were saying, that India also won the first test match, second test match. I mean, first was draw, second they won, and then three they lost. But and again here in the test series, I mean, first was washed out, second they won. What will happen now? But you have to accept the fact that India is way way ahead than England in one day cricket, and if somewhere we are dominant, if somewhere we are better than any other team, we have to accept that, and we have to I mean, show that kind of stubbornness even in our conversations that I mean, we should know within ourselves that India will win this series. At you're talking about the team which India playing with. I mean, the team which MS Dhoni picked. Yesterday I saw a very funny post which I also posted on our group that CSK scored 171 runs for 7 wickets, and England were 161 all out. So England lost to CSK by 10 runs. I mean, if you count the number of players who play for Chennai Super Kings, they contributed with 171 runs and lost just 7 wickets. So England were even defeated by them. So anyway, I mean, it's not a question about what players MS Dhoni picks, and maybe he's trying to bring people from the Chennai Super Kings, or he's not giving chances to new people. It's all about the right combination. And if it pays you the fruit, then I don't think it's any of our concern that the team was wrong or right. At the end of the day, India is winning, and that's what we want.
Pankaj,
Yeah, yeah.
somehow I think I am a big fan of MS Dhoni, as you know, along with Keshav and most of the guys who are a fan. But I think it's reaching to a boiling point where, do you think it makes any sense for him to continue with the same guys? I know that we won the second ODI. Yeah, I'm happy about it. Same team. Samson goes there, a Karan Sharma goes there, a
Umesh
Umesh
Yadav.
Yadav goes there. They don't get a chance. Now in Asia Cup, let me rewind and take you back to Asia Cup where Dhoni was not there, Virat Kohli was the captain. Even in the last game against Afghanistan, the new players did not get a chance. Do you think it does it make any sense, Pankaj, now, or is there something going on behind the scene that which we don't know, or do you think it makes some cricketing logic for Dhoni to pick the same 11 all the time?
There is no cricketing logic. I'll tell you why. See, it makes sense. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that, okay, whatever combination that was tried at the beginning, if it works, you continue with that. I can understand that. The problem with MS and the illogical part is, even when he starts losing, he doesn't make any changes. He's not willing to give people a chance. I mean, then what is the logic behind in taking people इनको passport पे visa लगवाने के लिए ये? I mean, I don't understand that. So he's not willing to experiment, and at times, a lot of captains, that if they feel that the series is secure, there is still a game left, they use it as a platform of giving valuable experience to youngsters who've not had a chance. That doesn't usually happen, and once in a while it happens. I don't know how that happens, but it doesn't usually happen. So I'm kind of in agreement with that Imam, that yeah, it's kind of silly after a point. I mean, I know that, see, he's not stupid for sure. MS is a very sharp fellow. Everybody knows that. He's done enough and more over the years to prove that, prove his mettle, his acumen to the world, of his intelligence. So it's becoming very silly. But I'm not enraged. I'm just a little disappointed. Because I've come to expect this out of Dhoni over the few years. So that's why I'm not angry. It's just expected, but it's disappointing. I mean, for the Indian team to get to the next level, people need to be rotated. Everybody should get a chance. He's just not willing to do that. I mean, either you believe the rest of the guys are just not good enough to play in the squad and contribute to victory, then why the hell are you picking them up in the first place? Or if you are, then give them a chance. What will happen? You might lose, right? You end up losing anyways. You might as well give people a chance.
Yeah, I'll come to you, Keshav, within a minute. Amartya, your thoughts, buddy? Do you think this is the same old thing going on? Does this make sense, or do you see any cricketing logic behind this? Amartya? Amartya, I guess you're muted. Yeah. Can you unmute yourself and go on, Amartya? Yeah, go ahead.
Still muted.
अमर्त्य आने वाले इलेक्शंस के बारे में सोच रहा है क्या? ओह, चला गया गुस्से से. Keshav, you're saying something, buddy. Go ahead.
Yeah, see, I think I would agree with Pankaj to an extent, but if you look at the performance, I think the only loophole in that team is Shikhar Dhawan, who's failing again and again. So if he's replaced by a certain Sanju Samson, I wouldn't mind that. And if you talk about the bowlers, which Dhoni played, and Shami, they played their parts, and Jadeja and Ashwin are
Keshav, let me just come in.
only played because of adding batted.
Keshav, you're too much disturbance for me. I'm going to mute you. Just hear me out. If somebody is not playing well, and your argument is that you'll be okay, that if somebody is not playing well, like Shikhar Dhawan, he gets replaced by somebody else to give a chance, it's fair enough for you. But the fact is that also has not been happening over the years. Regardless of the performance, he's been sticking with a particular team, and this is something that all of us have discussed in the past, that Dhoni always goes with the same sort of squad. But having said that, what is worrying, not worrying actually, but disappointing again, is that at the beginning of, let's say, new series, ODI, when you know the conditions, you've already lost in the conditions, you know who could be better or something, you're not even willing to give them a chance. Okay? But Umesh Yadav, who has more experience, who is faster, who swings the ball, you're not willing to give him a chance, but you go with a Mohit Sharma. Now, I'm not saying at any given point in time that Mohit Sharma is not talented. He's skillful. He's done enough in the shorter format to probably earn a side. Maybe playing for CSK helps. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, any sensible guy, somebody who understands basics of cricket, who knows enough cricketers, would have picked Umesh Yadav as the first pick, not Mohit Sharma. And so that begs the question that what is driving Dhoni's decisions behind all this? I mean, I know everything is speculation, but then it begs the question, right? That if any sensible guy would go with that, why would he go with this? There is no cricketing explanation behind it. Yes, he was part of the winning squad, which is great, but still, yeah, I mean, it doesn't have any cricketing logic in the first pick. I mean, Mohit Sharma being picked up ahead of Umesh Yadav does not have any cricketing logic behind. That's my.
I think maybe the fact, one of the facts MS Dhoni has always said, he wants this team to have at the experience of various pressure situations that arise in ODIs before they go into World Cup. I mean, he has always aimed at giving them at least 75 to 80 caps before the big event.
But
so, and the other fact is, if Mohit Sharma was playing, no, but that's one of the facts I told. But even if Mohit Sharma played, I think Dhoni wanted 3 different kind of bowlers in his team to add that variety, because I think Mohit Sharma bowls well at death overs, and Dhoni has he has gained Dhoni's trust that he can bowl well in the death overs.
He gained his trust when he started wearing his yellow jersey.
Yeah, so I mean, even in the ODIs, whatever international games he has played, he has proved his point whenever he has bowled at death.
Let's talk numbers, Keshav. I'll give you some numbers. Last series, South Africa, we went to South Africa, we went to New Zealand. 80% of the times we gave more than 300 runs. Two matches against South Africa, which we lost heavily, we gave away more than 300 runs. We lost, we did not put up a fight. I'm talking about overseas tours. When we went a recent ODI series in Asia Cup, we did not qualify for the final. So I think, if you talk one day cricket, I think Dhoni has, I think at the moment is really not, I think Pankaj used very nice words that he's disappointed. I'm enraged. For goodness sake, why do you carry this bunch of youngsters, take them along, so far and don't give a game? And, that does not make any sense. Okay, I understand if you continuously winning, you've won in South Africa, you won in New Zealand, you've proved yourself, and you say, you know what, these guys helped me win this, so I will stick to them. What explanation you expect from Dhoni? In press conference when he's asked, he doesn't answer. So I think I think we have reached a time. We have reached a time.
Imam, again, we are coming again back to that single point only that India were winning with this team only last year. They won 6 series on a trot.
Let's not talk about that, Keshav. I'm telling you, nobody will live on past performances. Even Shreya Ghoshal's last song will not be remembered. I'm going for music industry because you belong to that. If Shreya Ghoshal does not sing a song well today, then we will definitely say, यार वो पिछला गाना अच्छा गया था. वैसा नहीं होता है. If अगर वो अच्छा गाएगी अभी तो मैं सुनूंगा, मेरे iPod में वो गाना होगा. So the example which I'm trying to quote here is, you need to be at the top of your game every time in order to gain that confidence of not just a captain but a billion nation who follows this cricket. All right, let's not,
Okay, exactly. I mean, if that's the point, then you should also forget about South Africa and New Zealand losses and celebrate the England victory. I mean, let's see how they go from there.
My point is not the victories, Keshav. My point is about Dhoni always tells in his presentation it's about the process. Okay, never mind. Okay, let's not make it two my competition here. Let me go to Amartya and find out his views. I was reaching out to him before he had to, he dropped out. So Amartya, your thoughts, buddy?
Imam, I totally agree with you and Pankaj out there because I think that Dhoni sort of always selects the team that he has played before, and he's sort of very restricted and he doesn't give chance to youngsters. If you just remember, Amit Mishra was in the team for a long time before he was given a game. Even in the Champions Trophy, he was there and he was sitting in the benches and warming up the benches, and he was just the tourist visa. He was just having the tourist visa. I don't agree with the selection of Mohit Sharma ahead of Umesh Yadav, clearly because Umesh Yadav last time he went to the Champions Trophy in England, he got a 5-wicket haul against Australia and he was bowling brilliantly. So I really don't understand the meaning of playing Mohit Sharma ahead of someone like Umesh Yadav. And coming back to the topic, I think that even in the Test series, in the first couple of games, I think Ashwin was not given a nod ahead of Jadeja. Jadeja was being played because Jadeja was being considered a better batsman or a better bowler, but the fact remained that Ashwin was more productive with both bat and ball, and when he made a comeback, he proved that. So yet again and again, like just you correctly said, that we have a Karan Sharma, we have someone like Umesh Yadav, who is always there warming up the benches. We have Ridhiman Saha, we have Naman Ucha always sitting in the benches, and we are not utilizing the talent that we have on the benches. So it's high time that if some player doesn't perform, we replace them, just like the way, giving a rope to the player is fine, but too long a rope is also not fine. So I'm in total agreement with you.
And Pankaj, I really don't understand. He plays Stuart Binney in the Test match. I don't know for what reason. He plays him, poor Stuart
ahead of
Ashwin. Goes out, gets out.
Ahead of Ashwin.
Ahead of Ashwin. He goes out, gets out, and he doesn't get a ball. If he gets a ball, he gets it only for 2-3 overs. So I think somewhere MS Dhoni, I think, needs a long break. Mridul, what do you think about it, buddy? About the same question which I asked you, Amartya.
Yeah, I totally agree with Pankaj Bhai on this, that Umesh Yadav should have played ahead of Mohit Sharma, because I think now this ODI series will make the team squad for the 2015 World Cup. And do really Dhoni want to see Mohit Sharma in the 15-man squad for the World Cup? I think he bowled good, 6 overs, 18 runs, but Umesh Yadav was a better option. And apart from Umesh Yadav, I think Dhawal Kulkarni should have also been picked ahead of Mohit Sharma, because Dhawal Kulkarni played really well in that quadrangular series. He was the highest wicket taker for us, and that too in Australia. So I think we should have given him a chance, or Umesh Yadav a chance. And apart from this, I think we are really going to benefit from the Stuart Broad's absence, because only Jimmy Anderson is like a good bowler, looking like in the England team. Chris Boaks really bowled well, but I don't think that he will be a threat for us in the coming match.
Right. Rahul, your thoughts?
Uh, Maybe thinking from a captain's perspective, from Dhoni's perspective, probably if India would have lost playing Umesh Yadav, he would have borne the brunt as well. So whatever he selected, Mohit Sharma, Umesh Yadav, probably Umesh Yadav being pacier, as Pankaj said, could have been a better option. But right now, his option of playing Mohit Sharma has worked out. So I think let's leave it to Dhoni. One thing I would like to say is why not replace Shikhar Dhawan with Ambati Rayudu?
No, the options are many. Imam,
Yeah,
Rahul,
Pankaj.
I would
Yeah.
also like
Sorry,
to
you
say
wanted to say them. Please go ahead.
that
Yeah.
see there are plenty of options available. Uh, Frankly speaking, there's no denying that MS has done wonders for the team as the captain. Test number one, so many victories, this and that, all that, but past laurels, all great. But there comes a time in everyone's career where you're not the same. Your sharpness about reading the game, reading the situation might not be the same. Your instinct of picking the right sort of people, or Hamisha say, everybody is talking about Dhoni that he has so much of luck with him. Maybe that luck is running out when it comes to picking and taking the right sort of decisions. My biggest problem with Dhoni is as a captain that he looks devoid of ideas when he's on the field. He looks lost. He doesn't look his changes, his whatever he tries, anything that he tries is not inspiring at all. So that is something which of a letdown, and it's something that you do not expect of somebody of the caliber of MS. You expect a lot more from him. So maybe it's time that he also realizes that maybe he needs a break. Maybe he needs to recharge his batteries, go out, take a long break, come back, and just start thinking fresh. That freshness is not there anymore, and that is disappointing as a captain.
Yeah,
But
I agree. I agree. All right, just a bit of an update for you guys. Rohit Sharma is out of the ODI series. He is injured his finger. I remember him trying to take a catch, and the ball hit his finger pretty hard. So he's out, and Murli Vijay has been called in as his replacement. So that's a bit of an update for you guys. I don't know what the consequences of this would be. I'm not too sure. Are we again, not giving Robin Uthappa a chance, whom we sent to Bangladesh, whose poor guy scored a 50, did well in the second ODI, and he is now does not get a call up, and Murli Vijay does. So I somehow don't understand. Are we trying to pick players depending on their performance, or are they trying to pick players depending on? I will not go further. You think about it. Food for thought.
No, no,
All
no,
right.
Imam. I would like to just extend what you
Sure.
said.
Sure.
There's also the question that sometimes I wonder that the captain has a particular squad in mind for the World Cup कि मुझे ये 16 लोग खिलाने हैं World Cup में, and I will figure out a way to give them chances just to validate my already picked squad for the next World Cup. Somehow I'll make sure he gets enough matches here, that one there. I mean, I know I'm going a little overboard, but sometimes I wonder, it's just a thought. I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. But sometimes I do wonder that MS has already made up his mind कि अगले World Cup में I need these guys, I will play only them. Whether they are CSK or not, that is not even the question. Maybe he's made up his mind कि ये लोग खेलेंगे, and everything else is secondary now. I mean, it's disheartening to say the least.
Yeah, I agree. All right, before I think we've gone overboard. 4:14, guys. We don't realize the time, how much time we speak. See, Pankaj said at the beginning of the show that cricket experts were talking about it. Who wants those cricket experts when you have the hangout buddies? You have those buddies who can talk technical stuff, who can हंसी मजाक में गंभीर बात बोलने वाले buddies भी हैं हमारे पास, musical buddies भी हैं हमारे पास. So we have every kind. So that's where you have to tune in. You don't have to watch any other show before the start of the cricket match. You can watch Friday Hangout. So before we close today's show, guys, real quickly, your prediction for the result of the series, which is happening currently, India versus England. I'll start off with Keshav. Keshav, real quickly, the result. What do you think, the number? Okay, Keshav, we seem to have lost Keshav for a moment. Amartya?
I see a tie, Imam. I see 2-2. I'll go with 2-2.
You go with 2-2. Oh, good. Okay. Mridul.
I think India will win it 3-1 or 2-1.
ये ऐसा नहीं होता 3-1 2-1 मतलब एक बारिश और एक हो जाएगी क्या too much here this is not done you are the cricket expert I'll put you on the spot quickly number
3-1 India.
3-1 India fantastic that's what I was looking for Rahul
4-0. I think the way they are playing, I am sure they'll bounce back and they. Badla bhi lena hai. It's time for revenge. So they lost 3-1. They need to win it back by 4-0. So I think it will be a 4-0 victory for India.
guys that will sum up the Indian cricket fan the hopefulness the optimistic the level of optimisticness which we have we can't
Not optimism, but India is ranked number 2 and England is number 5. So going by stats and
they
being
are playing
practical
at
in
home,
the
my
game.
friend. Let's see what happens in the second ODI. There will be a backlash for sure. They will not give away as they shown in the Test series. Pankaj, your scoreline.
Let me watch the second game and then I'll tell you because I believe, I mean, I'm not saying this was a fluke. I look at 3-1 as the potential scoreline the way India played in the first match. But I would like to see their performance in the second one before I completely make up my mind.
Okay, Pankaj is sitting kind of on the fence, so
No,
we'll let him
I
sit
said
there.
3-1. 3-1
3-1.
based on their
Okay.
performance.
Uh-huh.
But I would still I would like to revisit the scoreline after I see the performance, not the victory. Not nothing to do with whether they win or lose, just to see the performance and application. I will tell you later.
Perfect. So 3-1 is what he's saying at the moment, and then again, Keshav, buddy, your scoreline quickly.
4-0.
A 4-0. Okay, then two we have Keshav who's agreeing with Rahul who also said 4-0. Guys, at the end of the day, before we wrap this edition of
No,
Hangout,
actually, Imam, I would make it 5-0 if you include the T20 game.
okay, there you go. You can't, the Indian cricket fan comes out and speaks so highly. Yes, I agree. I hope that's the case. So before we wrap it quickly, guys, one quick message. You might have heard us debating and talking, and some point of time arguing about a particular point. But at the end of the day, we do it only because we love Indian cricket, as all of you do who are watching. So I request you guys, you can also join in this conversation. You just have to go to our cricket page. You just have to go play go and like Circle of Cricket page. You can also join in this conversation and be a part of this fantastic, fantastic show which we have every Friday for you. So with a promise that we are going to be back next week with a lot more arguments, a lot more fights, but making sure the fact that we are staying far away from each other's cities, make sure that we don't get to each other's houses and start banging each other. So it's at the end of the day, we just love cricket, and I'm sure that all of you do as well. So happy Vinayak Chaturthi to all of you. Thank you so much, Amartya, Pankaj, Keshav, Mridul, Rahul. We'll see you guys next week. And till then, take care, and we love cricket. Jai Ho.
Cheers.
See you, buddy. See you.
Bye, bye. Take care. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.